Hey my friend, Adam here, and today I'm going to share with you a private training that I made for the members of my email newsletter to walk them through how to get started setting up Facebook ads and the easiest way to sort of dive in and the complete system and complete process and thoughts and strategies that I use when I'm creating an ad from scratch. So today what you're going to discover is what the easiest campaign objectives are, how to get started if you've never run a Facebook ad before. I'm going to walk you through campaigns and ad sets and ads, talk to you about split testing. I'll show you how to get started without needing to worry about conversion objectives and pixels and all of the fancy stuff. Essentially, if you've never run Facebook ads before, you're looking for a bit of a refresher on how to do them even more effectively and get better results, then I think you'll find this training quite helpful and quite beneficial. All right, we'll see you in there. All right, hey there, my friend Adam here, and today I'm going to walk you through the basics of setting up a Facebook ad, some of the things that you want to consider, some of the options that are available, as well as probably the fastest path to go from having no ads whatsoever to having an ad up and running, as well as some of the more intermediate and advanced concepts and software that you may want to consider after all of this is running, because the key here is to really just get started, to dive in and to learn by doing. And there's no better way than by actually creating an ad, putting it out into the world. Now, here's the thing. There are a ton of different ads that you can make. There's lead ads and call ads and conversion ads and traffic and video views and engagement and all kinds of things that often lead to more confusion and more overwhelm than action. So that's not the goal here. The goal here is to keep things as simple as possible, to get that first ad up and running. And then from there, you can start to tweak and optimize and experiment with other methods and other options, because it goes deep. It goes really deep, and it gets wild, and it gets crazy, and it gets exciting, but it also gets a little bit overwhelming. So what we're going to do here is we're in a sample ad account that I've got. And I'm going to walk you through an ad from start to finish, probably the easiest and fastest way to get any ad going for any kind of business, whether you're an online business, a service business, a product business, a local business, it doesn't matter. There's a few ad forms that are working exceptionally well right now. Now, when you click Create Ad, so you go into your Facebook Ads account. If you don't have one, you can sign up for one for free, but you're going to be in here and you're going to see something that looks probably similar to this. It might look a little different. They're changing the dashboard. They always change the dashboard, always updating and moving things around, but the concepts are still pretty much the same. What you'll find here is you may or may not have this little notification here that's going to sort of rank the kind of ads that you can create based on the goals that you want. So this is sort of borrowing more from Google ads and YouTube ads and how they do things, saying, do you want this or that or the other thing? And then they set you up with the right ad. Same deal here. What we're going to do is we're going to pretty much go for leads. And the reason that we're going to go for leads is because this is the fastest path to acquire a lead without needing pixels and conversion data and more complicated stuff that you definitely want to have later. But it's often overwhelming to start, especially everybody knows about Apple's iOS 14 and how it reduced tracking, accuracy, and efficiency. So the more stuff that we can leave in-app, inside Facebook, inside Instagram, the better we're going to be able to do, and certainly the easier we're going to be able to do, because then they're able to draw from all of that data without having to go and then get a cookie off a website, which may or may not be tracked, which may or may not allow third-party cookies to be installed and so on. So you can see here with leads, we've got instant forms, messenger, conversions, and calls. We're going to focus on instant forms and calls. Messenger, still decent. They're becoming kind of more decent again. It's funny, like all things in marketing and business, what's old is new again, right? It's almost like those retro throwbacks to old styles and that. Well, lead ads, when they first came out, they weren't great. And they got pretty good. And they got terrible. And now they're good again. So we're going to use them. So, step one. We create our campaign, give it a name, new leads campaign. I'd name it probably something more specific to what you're trying to do, but et cetera, we'll leave that there. Categories, if you're doing anything in credit, employment, housing, or have social issues, elections, or politics, you need to mark this or your ad will be flagged. So for 90% of businesses out there, probably not going to be an issue. If you're in real estate of any kind or mortgage or whatnot, you have to click housing. Typically, otherwise you'll just get flagged. Buying type, we're going to leave as much of this set to default as possible. That's kind of the other side here, is that we're going to have a lot of different options, including CBO and or ad set budget optimization. We can split test. There's all kinds of different variations that they're including to offer to different advertising accounts, which you may not even see CBO, you may see something else, and then they may remove it, and they're playing around. But the goal here is we want to keep things simple. We want to keep things layered as their default settings, and we want to let Facebook do most of the heavy lifting for us rather than us getting in there and messing all kinds of things up. This is very different than how things were even a few years ago when we wanted to micromanage every single specific of it. But for now, we're going to leave this here. We're going to leave A/B test off, CBO leave off, campaign budget optimization. All right, so the way that a campaign is structured is at 3 levels. The high level is the campaign. This is the name and everything we just went over. Then it has the ad set level. This is where you'll do your targeting and your placements and things like that. And then you have the ad itself, which is the copy, the creative, the image, what's essentially shown. So that's how we structure the campaign. So now we're here at the next level, which is the ad set level. This is where we can decide, do we want to just send people to our website? Do we want to do an instant form right inside Facebook? This is going to be what I recommend, and I'm going to explain why in just a few minutes here. You can do a messenger, once again, directly through Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram, or you can have people do calls. If you're the kind of business that wants more phone calls, calls is a great option. People can call directly. So for now, we're going to go instant forms. You can see we've accepted the terms for the page. We'll just use my main page there as the main one. We'll leave dynamic creative off. That'll show all kinds of different variations. We're going to keep things simple. Catalog is more for products, so we're going to leave that one there. Optimize for ad delivery. We want leads here. You can see we have an option for conversion leads. Again, what's happening here is this old debate of quantity versus quality. Do you want more, of which the good people are in there, or do you want less and more of the good people? Doesn't always work out that way, so we're going to leave things as leads. Leave your cost per result goal empty, at least for now. This is more of an advanced topic and more of an advanced scaling thing, especially if they're not spending all your budget, and you can set things out when it's really dialed in. But for now, we're going to leave it like that. Daily budget, you can really set it to whatever you want. We've had decent results depending on how B2C, business to consumer, how broad, how generic, how mass market appeal it is. We can get away with ad set budgets at like $2, $3, $4, $5 a day. The more specific you are, the more B2B, business to business, the more targeted your niche or the people that you want to reach are, the more you're going to need to spend in order to acquire a lead. But we'll just say $20 is good for now. Start date, we can put this date, doesn't really matter. I like to leave it open rather than setting an end date. Obviously, don't set it and forget it. You want to be checking in on this thing. Not every hour, but every couple days, come back in, make sure things are good. Ad scheduling, we're going to run ads all the time. If you do have the option, you can set them up at certain times. That's called day parting. Really only valuable for call ads or say messenger ads when you want that immediate response. Obviously, you don't want somebody calling at 3 in the morning if your business is closed. Now, audience. If you have a custom audience already, you have a customer list that you've uploaded, an email list that you've uploaded, you can put them in there. For now, again, we're going to leave this open, and we're going to go for the US, unless you're specific to an area. Like if you're obviously in a local geographic area, you'll want to put that in because there's no point in selling to people that are not in your area. If you're selling nationally or internationally, put the country. If you're selling online, then you can put, and you're an English-speaking person or an English-speaking country, you can put the kind of the big core ones of the United States and Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, possibly Ireland. There's other countries that do speak a decent amount of English. The Netherlands often has people that speak good English. Singapore has large English-speaking populations. So you can play around with that. I typically leave it as just the states to start because this allows us to get some pretty decent feedback, reach a broad enough audience, also with a consumer culture that's used to buying. It's kind of a capitalistic economy with large sort of consumer-driven economy. Okay, ages. Again, we can leave this one pretty open. In the past, we used to be super hyper focused on like who it was. Like if our market was between the ages of 24 and 33 and we knew it, we'd put that in there, and it was only men or only women. We'd put all that in. Unless you're selling something specifically to men or specifically to women, you can leave genders open. I'm going to leave age relatively open. You can see that right now it's this massive estimated audience size of somewhere around 230 million to 271. So we're going to narrow it down in a minute. But we'll leave that open-ish. I might move it just a little bit. So we'll say if they're past the age of, say, graduating college, and then at least for a marketing offer, I'm going to probably cap it at, we'll say 50. So relatively broad. We're still going to have a massive audience to deal with. Normally, I'll leave languages open, especially if I'm targeting an English-speaking country. If I am going for something like the Netherlands or Singapore or whatever, I will put English, all versions. Now, targeting. This is where we want to be. There's a good word here somewhere, I'm sure, that I just haven't thought of yet, but it's somewhere between specific enough that you're going to be able to appeal to the right kind of people, while broad enough to give Facebook sufficient data. So we're going to say sufficiently small or something like that. What I want to do here is I want to put in something around the area or interest that has to do with what I'm selling. So for example, if we're going to sell something to do with marketing or lead gen or business growth, I could put in business, but it's going to be very, very broad, right? It's like you can see here, the total possible people we could reach is 997 million up to over 1 billion. That's going to be a bit too big. Now, obviously, we're going to narrow that down based on being in the US alone, but that's not going to work. So what we could do is we could go marketing, but you'll see marketing is still going to be pretty large, 605 million to 712. But they're going to give you a bunch of different options down here. Marketing communications, influencer marketing, marketing strategy, email marketing. Obviously, if you're selling an email marketing thing, you'd probably want to go for something like that. Affiliate marketing, same deal, business marketing. So we can start to look through here and find ones that might be interesting or relevant. Conversion marketing has worked well for me in the past, so we're just going to go with that. And you can see if I wanted to make this a little bigger, because it's around 2.1 million, I could go suggestions, and it's going to start giving me all of these other options as well. So why don't I just, for giggles, we'll throw in lead generation there as well. Now, what this is doing is you can see that my number got significantly bigger because it's looking for that or that. If I wanted to narrow the audience, I could say this and that. But right now, I'm happy to leave it big enough. I'm going to leave this one off. A lot of debate. It goes back and forth. Should we check the box? Should we not check the box? We'll leave it off for now. If you want to, you can come back and duplicate the ad set and try it again and try something different. Languages, I'm going to just leave there. You will see that we have some things depending on if we want to have connections in that. Again, let's leave things as default. And on the topic of default, this is the next big thing. Automatic placements, recommended, or manual placements. Just because they say recommended doesn't mean you necessarily want to go with it, but in this case, we are going to leave it as automatic placements. And the reason is because at this stage, I'm almost more interested in getting back data on what's working and what's not, and what is my cost per lead, my CPL. How much am I going to have to pay? And then I can take a look at where they're coming from. Are they coming from mobile newsfeed? Are they coming from desktop? Are they coming from different kinds of apps, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is? That said, if you wanted to be specific, you could run, like say you had a Instagram reel ad. Obviously, you're going to come in here. You're going to turn off those. You're going to leave probably Facebook because we'll run it as one of those as well. We'll turn off Marketplace and Explore and so on. But you can see that we've got these here for options. We've got Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, Facebook Stories, Instagram Stories. So we can leave those there. Now, what you might find is when you get to the actual ad copy version of your ad and you're creating it, you might find that the way that it's formatted or the length of it might not fit with certain kinds of placements. So you might have to adjust and adapt accordingly. And those are always changing as well. Around 60 seconds sometimes of Reels, that might be getting longer. Shorter stories tend to work well, but again, we can play around. Same with message. Obviously, if we had the message objective, we would set it there. For now, automatic placements. Next. Okay, so now we're here and we're creating the ad for the actual campaign. So this is the ad that someone is going to see when they're on Facebook or when they're on Messenger, when they're on WhatsApp or whatever it is. This is the ad that's going to be put in front of them. So we're going to obviously give it a name at some point. We will obviously need to select a page that is done at the ad set level. We'll link up the relevant Instagram account if we're going to be running Instagram ads. We can leave this off, which is fine enough, easy enough. We can see we have single image or video. We have carousel, 2 or more scrollable images or video. My recommendation here is we're going to start with a simple image ad. Reel ads, Instagram Reels, are working fantastic. They're a phenomenal tool. But when you start introducing video to your ad, you add another variable, another element of complexity. So people always ask, is a picture ad better or is a video ad better? And the answer is, A good video ad is better than a good image ad, but you've got to make a good video ad. And that's significantly more challenging than finding a decent image with a good hook and a good value proposition and a good offer in front of it. Now, if you don't mind making a ton of different reels, you can do that. Maybe create 3, 4, 5, 6 different reels with different hooks and different angles, and then you can test them against each other and you can see which one performs. But for now, we're going to go basic single image. Now we're going to get to the point where we're going to add the media. This is where the text is going to show here. We're going to add a headline, which is going to show up kind of near the bottom. We can add a description if we want. We've done tests in the past where we put just like random gibberish in the description and it didn't really affect the conversion rate. That said, I don't like wasting money, so I put it in there, try to write a decent enough description. Call to action, you'll see all of these, which is why people just get so confused, like which is best. We haven't found a significant bump in many. I tend to stick with learn more because it's the most common. If I had something that I knew I wanted someone to buy or something like that, I might put it, but I rarely use like download or get offer or get quote. Once in a while sign up, once in a while apply now. If it's like a call funnel and I'm getting someone to fill out an application, 90% of the time, learn more. Destination, this is where we're going to build a form. And you can see in the sample account, man, we got forms back from 2016 in this one and 2019 for the last one. So I'm going to build a new form for you, walk you through what that looks like so we can actually get this thing out into the world. We could have a display link to show the website, it's good for authority and so on. And you can also see that we do have tracking and it will be associated with a pixel. But our goal here isn't to send people off of the platform, send them to your website and install the pixel and have them get cookied so that you can retarget them, simply because it's less effective now than it has been in the past. Now, the main strategy that we're kind of focusing on is keeping people in the platform. I want to show them a video. I want to get them to watch the video. I want to retarget them based on the percentage of the video that they watched. I want to show them a lead form and a lead ad, get them to submit their details, follow up with them inside the app, have a conversation. The more that I can keep people in the native environment that they're familiar with, the higher the conversions are going to be. So, with that said, let me take a second now and fill out some of this basic information and we'll go from there. All right, so thanks to the magic of technology, managed to go through here and just fill out some basic content so you didn't have to watch me type it all in, but essentially this is what we're looking at now. We've got our lead ads. I'm gonna give it a name actually. I'm gonna call this one Fishing, and the only reason I'm doing that is simply because of the image that I've chosen to use. The big factor, the first thing that I'm going to be split testing with this very first ad is going to be the image. It tends to have one of the highest effects on the overall click-through rate just by really catching someone's attention as they're going through it quickly. And it's funny because I actually went to find the image that I'm going to use on the landing page for it that they'll see later, which is a guy standing in front of a mountain lake. It's just always worked really well for me for this offer. But as I was going through my account, I found this one of a fishing line and reel. And it's interesting because if you look at the colors and you look at the contrast of it, it kind of pops. And you never really know how something's going to perform until you put it in relation to the other ads and the other things that someone's going to see on their feed. And sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it wrong, which is why you always split test different images. But getting ahead of myself here. So for now, we've got that. So we've got single image or video. You can see that I've got them placed here. You can also see they're giving me some recommendations. What they're suggesting is that I create some more ad copy, probably a good idea. We're going to ignore it for now. The second thing is they want me to come in here and to edit some of the formatting and the placements. So you can see that if I look at how the image is going to be structured in different spots, sometimes it's not going to look great. So what I might want to do here is we'll play around a little bit. I don't want to lose the context of that it's a reel. See what I can cram in there. I think that's probably perfect. Square looks good, so we'll save that one. We'll take one more quick look here, make sure that one's fine. They're going to want to make sure that it's the right size. I like it actually over that way because it kind of leads in that direction. Horizontal's fine. Vertical, not sure it copied. I think they want a bigger one anyway. Perfect. So we'll go save. We'll leave it as is. I've got text. What I've done is I've taken this text directly from the landing page. It's a decent high converting landing page. If you have an offer that's worked well in the past, you can put that here. If you don't, this is the perfect time to review all of the offers that you have and the hooks and the angles and what is it that makes it appealing. So for example, are you offering a free consultation? Are you offering a free download or a cheat sheet or a checklist? What are the benefits that someone's going to get when they download this? What are the problems that they have that would lead them to want to do this? So for example, this one's pretty straightforward. Discover the top 7 qualities of high converting Facebook ad images and start creating engaging and profitable ads that stand out in your customers' news feeds and get more views, clicks, and leads. Long run-on sentence. It's from the landing page itself, so I could polish this up a little bit. And I might go with a question, like, want to learn the secret behind creating better and more profitable Facebook ads? Here's a tip. Here's the secret. Here's the tip. Here it is. Here it is. It's all about the image. The image is the first thing someone sees and creates an instant impact that will lead someone to click or not. All right, so in the interest of time, we're going to leave that there. Download this free cheat sheet, and there we go. So either one of those would be fine. The original one, I'll probably split test against it anyway, just to see how it's going to perform. But for now, we'll leave that here. Click the Learn More button now to download your free copy. There's also a lot of talk in the world of Facebook ads of whether you're allowed to say you or your. Are you allowed to call someone out? Are you allowed to highlight negative attributes or things like that? I err on the side of caution more often than not. So if you're selling weight loss products, you never want to say, do you want to lose weight? Probably not a good thing. They're not going to like that. Essentially, anything that's going to convey a negative tone, anybody that's going to feel like they've been targeted, even though they have been targeted, anything like that kind of puts a bad taste in people's mouth. So that can lead to your ad being denied or blocked or possibly even shut down if you violate these things too severely or too many often or too many times. Too many offens. Makes perfect sense as we're working through our copy. So this is all fine there. That's good. We've got our headline, the perfect Facebook ad image cheat sheet. If anything, I might add another here. Download. I might say like free download, which we've had varying degrees of success with in the past in regards to how it performs and what gets shown and so on and so forth. So why don't we go free download, Facebook ad image cheat sheet. The other thing that you want to keep an eye on is how it's going to look here if we start kind of cycling through different variations, like is it all going to fit? Is it going to get chopped off in mobile? But let's leave that here. Next point, download for free today. Download this cheat sheet for free today and start creating better and more profitable Facebook ads by ... We end with the ellipsis. This may or may not be shown, but what we're doing is we're creating a bit of an open loop, a bit of a hook, some intrigue here that's going to lead to that little bit of curiosity. Like I said earlier, not necessarily going to do anything. We could put gibberish in here and sometimes we're going to be just fine, but regardless, that's there. Now, you can see here that at this point, they're going to click on a form. Now, we could go here and go download, get offer, etc., etc. We're just going to go learn more. That'll open the form, as you can see, form on Facebook. I did go in and put in a URL for a display link. All that does is open up this page here, which is just another way to collect the details. So it's essentially offering the same thing, but through the more traditional, more common approach of sending someone to an actual landing page in exchange for their name and email in order to deliver the goods. So that's there. Now what we need to do is create an instant form. So let's do that now. So we create form, we'll give it a name. We'll say Facebook image guide. We're going to go for more volume. Again, you can have a choice of quantity versus quality and so on. I'm going to use volume, and the reason that I'm using volume is because I'm going to be following up with these people through either SMS or through email, and I've got a really good system on the back end, so I don't mind filtering through people. If I had to manually call all of these people, I'd probably go for intent, simply out of the sake of time. We have a chance to add an image here. We can put a headline here again. What I like to do is make sure that there is add scent, scent as in smell, so that it smells the same, it looks the same as what they just clicked on. The last thing you want someone to do is click on an ad and get taken to a form or to a page or to some place that looks completely different to where they just were, because then they're going to click the back button, they're never going to convert, and so on. So why don't I go through here, and I won't make you watch that, but I'll just copy and paste some of the info over, and we'll carry on. All right, so here we are. You can see that what we've got is we've got our headline, the perfect Facebook ad image cheat sheet. So then they click it over, they get some congruence there. You can see the paragraph, download this free cheat sheet, discover the top 7 qualities of high converting Facebook ad images today. We don't have a ton of space, so we're gonna leave it like that. Questions are where things get interesting. This is where we'll say, please let me know where to, or where would you like us to send your free cheat sheet? Perfect. So we'll get contact information. Where would you like us to send their cheat sheet? We have email, full name. The beauty, again, of using these instant forms inside Facebook is much of this this information is pretty much already stored, so they can confirm and so on. What I like to do, though, if I can, is I like to get a phone number. Now, the reason that I want to get a phone number is a slightly more advanced thing, but it allows me to then do SMS, text message marketing, in order to deliver it and in order to strike up a conversation. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that next. Like I said, it's a little more advanced. It is going to require some other software and some other setup. I've got a link that I can share with you that'll give you a free 30-day trial so you can see if it's something you want to do. If not, name and email are totally fine. What you can do is you can either synchronize this and integrate it with your CRM of choice, your email service provider, anything you use to manage your leads, or you can just do it old school. You can come in here, you can download your leads manually, you can respond to them one-on-one, whatever is whatever's best and easiest for you, depending on what stage you're at. So we're gonna say email, name, phone number. I'm gonna probably put them in this order, depending on what I want. I think that's probably good. We'll say email, phone number, name, phone number, email. Let's do it this way. That sounds fine. You can add other options here. You can get, if you just want their first name, you can get that. You can get date of birth if you want to request it. You can get work information. You can get all kinds of other stuff. Less is usually more unless you need more details. The more things that you ask for, the lower your conversion rates are going to be. So privacy policy, add that to your website. Make sure that you're following everything that you need to, including a custom disclaimer if you need. This is your opportunity to show them what you need to show them on the thank you page. Once they've submitted that information, what do they need to do? What I like to do here is give them the next step in the funnel, or show them where they can get the thing that they've just said they wanted, or confirm that this is actually something that they want through like a double opt-in that you would do with email. What I do here is typically I'll send them to a page that looks like this. So, hey, hang on, you're almost done. Just make sure that you go check your email, click the confirmation link, and you'll get immediate access to it. It's essentially a way of helping avoid spam or fake email addresses, but also encouraging them to take the next step. So we'll put that all in there, and then that's it. We can hit publish. I'll just go save draft for now because we'll go through and fix all these later. Save draft, we can exit out of that. Perfect. Draft will appear in your list of forms. You can see it there. It'll need a bit of work. And then once all that's done, we just hit publish and our ad is made. We're pretty much off to the races. Now, one thing that I did talk about was wanting to split test different images against each other. So you can see if we come all the way back to campaign, we have our new leads campaign. We then go to our ad set. This is our targeting. So in fact, what I'll do here is we're going to come in here, we'll go edit, and we're going to change this just to the targeting option that we used, which if I remember correct, conversion marketing and lead gen. So we'll write that, conversion and lead gen. So now I've got that set. And then you can see that we have our ad is phishing. So let's come to our phishing ad. All we want to do now is make sure that's highlighted, click duplicate. We'll go original campaign, keep everything the same. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to change nothing except the image. That's going to be the only thing that we swap out. And that will enable us to find out which image is going to get us the highest click-through rate, the most number of leads, the lowest cost per lead, all of the good things that we're after with our campaign. Very, very simple to do. All we're going to do is come down to media. we're going to click remove all, we're going to go add media, and you're going to upload a different image. Once that's done, everything else stays the same. You'll hit publish and you're pretty much set. Then you're free to basically go out there and start collecting leads and start generating more customers, more sales, more revenue for your business. Now, I did mention one sort of more advanced step, and I'll bring that up right now. Once this is done, you can download your leads from a spreadsheet. You can move them wherever you need to, into your CRM or into your email. My preference is, especially if you're doing SMS, is to use software called Go High Level. What it does is it allows you to take the leads that you generate from your form, it automatically integrates them into the Go High Level software, and then it allows you to send SMS messages and email marketing. I use it mostly for SMS automatically. So it can immediately send out an SMS to someone saying, hey, here's your thing, or how's this thing, or would you like this info, or how does this working, or so on. And that enables you to then go and communicate with people in a way that has typically a higher response rate, but also follow up with a conversation right inside the app. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do to get even better results from your Facebook ads is to make sure to check out the video I've got linked up right here that's going to show you one of the best strategies I know of in order to get better results from your ads. So make sure to check it out now. I'll see you in the next video.